What is going on? I am excited today to present to you a special guest on the Always Moving podcast. This is Anthony, the owner of Uke Tattoo Studio in Southampton, Pennsylvania. He is not only a tattoo artist, he is a tattoo enthusiast, and he has helped a lot of people grow into become their own tattoo artist by not only special techniques but also a strong mindset. And we're going to learn about his journey and learn about the exciting aspects of running a tattoo shop. So Anthony, thank you for your time and being here.
For having me.
Now before we get started, I have a quick question for you. How often do you say the words, "I don't have time"? That is one of the biggest reasons why our goals are not achieved yet. It is so common that we don't realize that it's actually an excuse. The real reason why you say "I don't have time" is because you don't actually know where your free time is at. Don't worry, I'm here to help. I got you. Click the link below and you'll be able to set up a call with me and I can show you how easy it is to find your free time. Let go of feeling anxious with your time and start becoming a more productive person. Now, let's get started with that interview. Absolutely. So the first thing I would like to always start off with is, what are your intentions behind today's interview?
My intentions are to, maybe there's other tattooers that might watch it or small business owners that might look at this and be like, oh, maybe he has a similar story like I do and I can get inspiration from that or tips from it or something like that. So I think this is to bring more awareness and help a lot of people.
Beautiful. I like that word inspiration. So I'm glad that we're going to be doing a lot of that today.
Correct.
So, Uke, which is also short for ukulele,
Yes.
right? Which is a nickname of yours, right?
Yeah.
Where did all of this kind of come from? Where did the name come from? Where did the start of your business come from? Tell us about that.
So, wow, that's a good question. So I used to be a musician, and I don't know why the ukulele one was the most important one to me, but that was the one that I would like walk around with and play with all the time. And I had a music Instagram, and it was called iukuleletat.
Wow.
And when I started tattooing and posting tattoos on that page, I switched it to iukuleletat so people wouldn't get confused, like, who is this new person? And that was just what the name was. That's it. But people started saying, "Yo, ukulele," or "Yo, Mr. Ukulele," so it kind of made itself. So before I even had the opportunity to make my own name or something, people made a name for me.
Wow.
And then, 2-3 years went by, and that's what it was. And when it was time to open a tattoo shop, the guy was like, "Okay, what is your LLC name going to be?" And I was like, "I guess it'll be Mr. Ukulele something," and that's what it was. And it was Mr. Ukulele's Tattoo Parlor for the first year, but I changed it to Uke after a year, just to shorten it and make it look more classy. Because like when you look at it, it kind of looks like fancy, you know, like a little French word.
Yeah.
But it's very different, and it's hard to read it, but it sticks in people's minds. Like,
Absolutely,
it's always
yeah.
like what does that word mean? What does that say? Or if they do know it, it's like there's no other person with a tattoo shop name or something that's called an instrument. So it's very different. I think it stands out amongst a lot of others.
Wow. The fact that you brought in your passion for music and the ukulele to also the name of your brand, the name of your business, and put it together but still be unique. Two completely different things, but combine it together and it's still unique. That's an amazing story right there. Before we get even more into your business side, music. What did that do for you? How did you get into that? Like, that sounds like a passion that led you to this.
That's my real love. Music is my real love, my first love. I think I'm going on like 13 or 14 years of writing songs.
Let's go.
You kind of have to count which years are the more important years and which years were the years that you just wrote raps in your bedroom or something like that. But music was always my outlet for my emotions and stuff like that. And what I like about music is that is for me. Like tattooing is for me, and you have a creative outlet, but you have to sell the tattoos, and you have to give the people what they want. Music is like I make songs that I want to listen to. I make songs that I like. I make songs that are on my mind. But if I drew what was on my mind, there's not a lot of people that would get that.
Ooh, okay. I see the connection there.
So people would ask, like, am I upset that the music didn't work out for me or something like that? But in my eyes, it did work out because it's for me. Like, I make it for myself. And, like, if I can still make money off of art or creativity, like, who says I need a music job? So I'm very, very grateful that tattooing worked for me, and I'm grateful that I get to not have to depend on music or music money to fund my life or anything. I can still keep my core love for music in its pocket, and then I could do my tattooing for work.
Amazing. And you said you've been doing the music for more than 10 years. So it always sounds like you had a seed of persistence, like you had a hustle, a drive in you. Where did that come from? Like, did you learn that from family? Did you learn that from a mentor? Did you learn that on your own? Talk to us about that.
I think it's like, all right, if you look at a children's book or a movie with a child's bedroom, there's always a guitar in the corner. Like, and they did that on purpose because that's real. There was always some kind of guitar or like a piano keyboard in my room. And I wasn't really into like sports or video games, and I always gravitated towards like drawing shit or trying to play the piano because it was like buttons with these sounds on them. And I don't know, that's the only thing that I wasn't aware of that when I was a kid, but it fed my soul in a way. Like I would play stuff or hear songs and I'd be like, oh my God, what is this feeling? And then you get older and like music is such a mystery to you when you're a kid. It's like, how are these people in the radio? Like, I used to think there were people inside the radio or inside the TV. But one day my brother, he had a friend that recorded music, and he recorded like a mess around song, and he came home and showed it to me on his iPod, and I was like, how are you on an iPod? So that gave me the
courage, the inspiration, the drive, the hustle.
Yeah, it gave me the idea that you can do this. So once he showed me that, I was like, yo, I write songs all the time. I never showed anybody, but I want to do this. And since that, Dad did it every day.
Amazing.
My first tattoo is a microphone. So that's my love, my real love.
All right, there we go. Now we're getting to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. And now tattooing, right? Because that's a challenging thing. It's not something simple that you can just decide, I'm going to be a tattoo artist. Where did that like kind of awareness that you can do this, that you want to do this, that let me pick up an instrument, a tattoo instrument, and start tattooing? How did that come about?
Well, I think I always liked to draw and stuff like that, but I never thought remotely about trying a tattoo, being a tattoo artist, anything. The simple and crazy story about it is I was a caregiver, and one day I was at work and I was scrolling through Instagram. It was 6.5 years ago. Actually, this month is my 6th year of tattooing.
Let's go. Awesome.
But there was like a post, somebody doing like stick and pokes, and I was like, oh, I want to try that when I go home. So I tried it when I went home on a friend of mine, and then we were like, let's order, like, we call it a tattoo gun. Let's order a tattoo gun off of Amazon. And the real tattooers hate this kind of story, but we got one off Amazon, and I like tattooed my friend and tattooed my legs and stuff, and then I would post it on Facebook because I always posted any kind of art I did.
Wow.
And people never stopped hitting me up for it. Ever. And it was just like a thing for fun on the side after work. Like, it wasn't a job. I didn't really charge people, maybe $20 or something like that. But then there was a point where like you get your income tax and like your work is going slow at your regular job, and you're like, wait a minute, should I invest like, I thought it was a lot, $1,000 into buying like a tattoo bed and like a real machine and all this stuff. And then the guy that sells the products, he's like, yeah, you should do it. I thought he was encouraging me. He just wanted to make the sale.
Of course, yeah.
But
part of the process.
I bought the stuff and I never looked back. And then that determines, like, this part determines whether it works for you or not. Some people want to be a tattoo artist because of the novelty of it. Some people depend on it. You know what I mean? And for me, I had to depend on it. There was a point where, like, it was do or die. You need money. You need to do this. But that could be good and bad. The good part about it is, like, if you're depending on it, you need money, you'll make money. The bad part about it is you're watering down your integrity and core values just to make the money. So once I started making money and watering down my core values, I became aware of that, and I made it like my goal to, like, learn the proper way. I started buying all the tattoo courses that you could buy on the internet and trying to talk to other artists. They're not really open about sharing their information, but it was just a quest of not doing this for the money anymore. It was doing it for the sport of why everybody else does it. And the fruit of the labor will be, it could fund your life. But you should be doing it for a different reason. So I figured out what that reason was, and I'd like to say I paid my dues to everyone around me. I drew the American traditional skulls and eagles 20 times in a row, and like painted things and did tattoos for cheap, just so I'm not, like, stealing money out of the community of people that could pay the other artists in the area. But yeah, it worked out great. It's been 6 years and it worked out. Everything was a trial and error run, and I think I'm starting to figure it out.
There you go. So it definitely sounds like during that time frame in the beginning, you invested into yourself, about learning, not only just about the process of tattooing and doing it the right way. You learn about doing it right for the people as well, for the community of tattooing. You saw the bigger picture behind it, which is why you wanted to invest in yourself. And on top of that awareness, from what I got from the earlier story that you were sharing, was that you always made creativity part of your courage, right? You weren't scared to share, like you said, which is a big thing nowadays, like hiding your creativity and or even making it difficult for you to want to share, right? Would you say that courage plays a big part in opening up a business, or doing tattoos, or doing any new challenges that would occur?
Great question. So yes, courage does play a big part, but fear does as well. You cannot lack fear or the doubt. You have to equally have as much doubt and fear as you do courage, because if you go in with courage, you almost go in blind. Fear is what keeps you grounded and keeps you humble, and it keeps you driven to keep going. Because right now I could have courage that, hey, I'm in my 6th year, I have people working here with me, for me, my books are full for a month or two, I'm courageous that everything's gonna go good. But then you get comfortable like this. Like, I'm good, I'm courageous. But the fear in the back of my mind is like, yes, you have this month and next month filled, but what about the next month? So right now, while you have gratefully 2 months of cushion ahead of you, you have 2 months of time to figure out what you're gonna do next. And that's what the fear is driving me to do. So it's important to have fear as well as courage.
Awesome. Now, you have both fear and courage. You have the enjoyment of creativity. And now we're in this location, right? Take us through the process of the challenges that you had to overcome, the positive, the negative, to get here and now have a full team. Not only are people working with you, but working for you and striving. Tell us about that.
It was quite challenging, because I was tattooing from home forever, and then when I didn't have a place to live, I would tattoo in backyards or hotels, by any means. But there was, I was, and everyone hated that, because the tattoo artists don't like to see that, and I don't like to see that now. I get that, but they don't like to see that, but in the back of their mind, they're like, yeah, motherfucker, get it. They're not going to say that when it's happening. They're low-key applauding you. Like the people in this shop that break the rules, I'm like, I gotta get on them, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's exactly how I made it. That's why I need you.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna tell them that.
Yeah, of course.
The challenge was opening a shop, because first you go from I never wanted to be a tattoo artist. It just happened. Now I'm kind of using it to my advantage, and now I'm trying to pay the respects to the tattoo gods. And then there's the whole, you got this opportunity to have a tattoo shop. I was living in Trenton. I just had a daughter. People were getting shot outside. And I couldn't tattoo from home anymore. It's like, how many years of getting better can you do until you get a shop, dude? Or
expand your wings, all that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
So I was just on Facebook Marketplace, and there was a guy that had this building up for very cheap, and I wasn't really about it. I just inquired about it. But he kind of like, get over here. And
let's go.
He sold it to me before I even bought it. He already knew what he was doing. He's the superintendent of Southampton, by the way. He owns all the buildings in this area.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, millionaire.
Yeah.
But he didn't just let it be like, you're gonna rent this space and do tattoos. He's like, we gotta get you your bloodborne pathogen, we gotta get you an LLC. He taught me how to do that. He got me like that plaque on the wall. So he like got it legitimized before my mind was even up there. Because at that time I was like 20 or 21 years old. And I was like, huh, what? Okay. He's like, come here at this day, come here at this time. He's like, meet me at my building here. He's like, here, you gotta give me your card info for this thing, that thing. All right, now you have an LLC. Now you have like an entity, a legal entity, and you have all this stuff. And then you start October 1st. He's like, you can pay like right now, and you can have this next few months to like prepare yourself, but we'll start your actual payments on October 1st. So the whole summer was anxiety. I was like, all right, I have my life savings from COVID. All the tattoo shops closed, and everybody came to me. Everyone hates me for that, but by all means, I just threw my life savings at him. I paid the year in full, just so I can have security. And then I was in here like this, empty building. I was like, what the fuck? What happened? How did this happen?
Yeah.
And then I was like, that fear, that survival mode. I'm like, how to get rich, how to do it, how to make it happen. Because I'm only one person. I can't tattoo 50 people at once. I need to make this amount, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up just posting openly on Facebook, like, is there anybody who would want to learn how to tattoo and like become an independent contractor? And like so many people bid on it. And that was good, and it was my downfall, and it was a great learning experience for me, because these people came and they would learn from me, and they would pay me what the monthly rent was equal to, and I got to pocket that back. But that came with a cost. Like, I was missing time with my family, my newborn child. I wasn't seeing her. I was here every day till midnight. I was like teaching and letting people tattoo who were totally underqualified, who had no idea about how to even draw a picture, use a tattoo machine, and mess their friends up, just for the money, or what was it? And then over time, I was also learning how to do it the right way. And they were like, wait, but when we started, you were like this, and now you're like that. But every day we're growing, and if you're not and I am, it's gonna make me look a certain way to you. So they started to hate that about me. So one by one, they would quit. They all had keys to the shop, so they would come in while I was gone, steal shit, take shit, leave, work at the other shops. So there was one big challenging part where after like, oh my God, Anthony Alvarez opened a tattoo shop at 21 years old, and he has 5 people working there. Like 3 or 4 months later, Anthony Alvarez is in his shop alone. Everybody left him, stole his shit. We like made modifications to the building's structural integrity. So we had like walls built and all this other stuff. And I was just like, what am I gonna do? But you ask that, and you ask the universe, and you ask like, this is where the paying homage to the tattoo gods comes into play, and the integrity of
the connection,
your being. Like, you still have to play the part even though you're not in the part. And then the guy I know, Justin, who works here, he came and he kind of just like, let's make it happen. And then Maggie came, she's like, let's make it happen. And then it was a shop again. And then after a year, we redid the look of everything. And once we did that, it created this like energy that made the guy Steve come. When Steve came, he just changed the whole shop. He's just an apprentice, but he brought so many clients. He brought so many friends. I met so many people through him. And then after Steve came, like 5 people came, one. And then after they came, I was like, oh, dude, I'm tired of teaching people the same shit. After 2 weeks, I have to teach the same lesson to somebody else. So that's when I made the tattoo classes and sell those remotely. And if people actually are willing to pay for that and complete the 9-week program, then they can apply to the shop, and I'll know that they're about something. I won't ever have to have that trial with them or waste any more time.
Yeah. So wow, the challenge of everything you've done correlates to a lot of people's potential, not only in yourself, but you seeing other people's potential, but fortifying it in a way that the potential is actually put into good use, right? When it's just only one person, it's easy to express that potential, like the owner of this shop did and helped you get the LLC and get everything started. It's just one person. But then when you have a multitude of people and you're learning as well, that definitely does sound challenging, but it shows that you see the good in people. Like you want a lot of people to prosper, not just yourself. And from learning those challenges, and like you said, being robbed and not having good energy in here and things of that sort, but because of your character of being a light to people's potential with the other tattoo shops in the area and the tattoo community, good things started to happen for you because of the consistency of your strong will characteristic. And now that potential that you saw in people, you created a system to help people become tattoo shop artists with their own will, but with a system. Now you have something that's driving. Now you have something that's yours, and that's a beautiful thing, because you're basically giving back to not only yourself, your brand, your shop, but also basically you're paying back that owner that gave you a shot here. You know, that saw your potential, because it all comes full circle. And man, that is an amazing thing, and I'm very glad that you shared that with us. Never knew. Now that you have this system, now that you have this structure, good energy, good people around you, what's the vision? What's next for La Uke, or what's next for your apprentices and the tattoo artists that you have here?
The vision is, right now, is May 9th, 10th, something like that. We have exactly 1 year till the lease is up, so that's when the new shop will be. We'll have a team full of people that are trained. I think the doors are closed to like new people for now, because we like who we have. We're all a team. I wouldn't be able to do anything without them. So it's like, I'm the person, I'm the brain, Steve is the pencil, Kat is the paper, Maggie's the eraser. We're all one collective in what the final product is. So right now, while we're in the back, we're training as we're in the front. So we're coming in with schedules, we have these uniforms, we have like a system going to train ourselves for what it would be like when we have the real shop. Because right now this is a private studio, and we kind of only tattoo when a client books us or something off Instagram or something like that. There's not really people that walk in off the street.
Got it.
But we are pretending we have that for an entire year. So once we get to the front, the storefront, they'll know what to do. They'll have a schedule. They'll have a routine. They'll know what it's like to have that. So right now we're just, I'm at a point where things could be a little bit more present for me. I'm not on the run. I'm not battling anymore. I'm not like fighting for my life anymore. I'm able to be more present. There's a lot of things I'm navigating in my brain still, but when I'm here, I'm here. When I'm teaching them something, I'm teaching them something. And everybody here, I'm learning, is like a ninja turtle. We all have our goods and bads. So things that I wouldn't like to tattoo, Kat might be able to do better. And if Kat wouldn't want to do it, she could send it to Pull Up or something like that. So I like what we have going. In a year from now, we'll be in a better shop, a bigger shop. There's nothing wrong with this one, but we grew out of it.
Your potential has grown.
I love this place so much. I'd stay here forever if I could, but there's too many of us to be here. We can't all be here at the same time anymore. That's how crazy it's getting. So in a year, we'll have a new shop. We'll take walk-ins, so it'll be a storefront, and I'll teach them how to do everything the right way. And we'll learn more about the tattoo history as well, so that way we can pay respects to all the people that came before us and paved the way for us new electronic e-pen tattoo artists of this era.
Beautiful. Man, Anthony, let me tell you, this was a shockingly exciting story. Definitely learned a lot from you. We learned that your creativity is courage, but also don't be blinded by that courage. You also have to be aware and conscious of the fear, because they both go hand in hand in growth. Also that music, your work doesn't always have to be your passion, but to have a passion in something that you do, which is awesome. And then the fact that you're giving back to people. You're not just in this industry yourself, and you're thinking about not only the future people, but your current people, because you said you were present. So I am truly blessed to have heard your story, learned a lot, and now I'm even excited to get more tattoos.
Yeah.
You know? And man, thank you so much for your time. How can people connect with you?
You can find my Instagram. It's at iukuleletat, or email booking at ukuleletattoos.studio. I'm very easy to approach. There's no 5-month wait list. You just hit me up and I'll answer you in 5 minutes.
Awesome.
Easy.
Awesome. Beautiful. Well, hey, much success to you in the future, and continue doing what you're doing. It's very impactful. And man, thank you again for tuning in. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because your next tattoo could be impactful. Have a great one. Let's fucking go, bro!
That was great.
Let's go!